guys, welcome to Mr. Smith's Kitchen. Brian, Mr. Smith Kitchen, as always. And I'm gonna cook some supper. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of getting back to a normal routine. We still got, our graduation party to hold this Saturday, but that's all right. I think we've got things pretty much under control. Even started doing a little bit of work on the awning for the patio, which has been a challenge. It's been raining off and on the last couple of days. Now I have the next 2 days off, and there's a chance of rain both days, so I'm gonna try. Oven going off because we're gonna need it. But anyhow, back to the subject at hand. Tonight we're gonna do some chicken cordon bleu, but we're gonna do it in casserole form. I love chicken cordon bleu just in and of itself. I've made it a couple times over the years, but I don't think I've ever done a video on it. Even the original isn't hard to make, but you gotta make sides. But this is kind of like an all-inclusive, all-in-one dish, and it's easy. You can buy almost everything from the store done up. Well, you can, with the exception of the noodles that are in the casserole. But it goes together quick. Spends a little time in the oven, but that's okay. It gives you a chance to do other things like hang out, see how your better half's day was, the kids' day was, or whatever. Make phone calls, blah blah blah. So anyhow, if you're new, welcome. If you're returning, thank you. Means you got something out of this. If you just became part of the neighborhood and subscribed, that's great. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing so. And yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So now all that's been said, let's get down to the counter here. We'll start making some chicken cordon bleu casserole. All right, hold on for me 1 second. Okay, so down here at the counter, as always. So I'm getting ready to move things around in here too, off topic, and try to get us some more space and breathing room and things like that. At least till we get back to the fall when I can't be outside anymore and I start working on the kitchens in the basement and up here. But anyhow, recipe, pretty straightforward. We got a recipe. Things you will need: you'll need a couple bowls, a larger bowl and a smaller bowl. You're gonna need a 9x13 baking dish. And first things we did, we fired up the oven, 350 degrees. While that was warming up, in this bowl that you can barely see right here, I boiled some egg noodles. All right, and you want to boil those al dente. Once those are done, your oven's warmed up, we can move on to the next thing, because it goes together relatively quickly, depending on how you end up doing this. But in the large bowl, we are going to need a few different things. We are going to need a can of cream of chicken soup, which I have right here. It's just a small can, the regular 10-ounce can that you pick up at the grocery store. Sorry, I had to get a spatula. Just like any can you get at the grocery store, we're gonna throw that in the bowl. We're basically gonna mix our wet ingredients, then we're gonna do up our dry ingredients and combine them all together. And get that in there, just like such. Oh, don't want to leave any behind, if possible. There we go. All right, so we got our cream of chicken in there. Next thing we're going to do is put 1 cup of sour cream in right here, and it's full fat. I suppose you could use low fat, use whatever sour cream you have available, and that you guys like, for sure. Get that in there. Then we will need, I'm telling you, this thing goes together so quick. We will need 1 cup of sour cream, 1 can of soup, and then we will need a half a cup of heavy whipping cream. Put that in, just like such. And we will need our 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, which I set right here. Will be the next ingredient in it, and that's kind of what makes chicken cordon bleu. If you didn't know what chicken cordon bleu is, in its purest form, it is a chicken breast that has been split in half long ways, and then you open it up, you butterfly it, and then you put a thin slice of ham in there and some Swiss cheese, fold it back over, roll it around in breadcrumbs, and then fry it. It is quite delicious. And we're mimicking that, but it's got Dijon mustard in it also, and Swiss cheese. All right, so in the center it's chicken, ham, Swiss cheese, Dijon mustard, all combined, then crumb coated and thrown in a fryer. So we got that in there. We got our 2 teaspoons of mustard in there. We need some onion powder and some garlic powder, and we're going to do a half a teaspoon of each. Put that in there like such. and a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I use granulated garlic myself. I've not bought garlic powder in years. The granulated garlic just seems to give it a better pop, and I don't know how that's possible, but I've learned with garlic, depending on how it's prepared, depends on its taste. You can do 1,000 things with garlic. All right, so we got those two things in there. And then we're gonna mix this until it's combined. So we'll go ahead and get this mixed. All right, we are combined. After we get that combined, we are going to add 1 cup of cubed ham. And this is where I said you can vary it a little. You can either buy it pre-cubed. I just went ahead and bought a whole ham, and that way I had it for other things also, and took 1 cup's worth and just cubed it up. We're gonna put that in there. And then it calls for 1 cup or 2 cups of cooked chicken. And it doesn't say that. Most recipes like this, they just think you're gonna use leftover chicken from, like, yeah, you need something to do with your leftover chicken. But let's say you don't have any leftover chicken. I know I didn't, so I just went and bought a rotisserie chicken from the store, right? And then that way they're in some ways cheaper than by even buying just a whole raw chicken. Or if you don't want to do that, you can cook up some chicken for this, but you're gonna need about 2 cups worth, which is about 1 big breast, 2 small. I've got a little bit of thigh and a little bit of a breast in here. But anyhow, you know, if you don't want to cook it, just go get a rotisserie chicken. They really are just the most awesome thing. And you get to say, you can save the bones to make bone broth with, which means it's pulling double duty, right? Wipe my hands off here. And then the last thing we're going to put in this is the noodles we cooked earlier. It's 8 ounces of noodles. This says 1 8-ounce package. It must be a brand that uses 8 ounce, because everything I found in the store was 12 ounce. But we're gonna put that in, and then we're just gonna stir this all together. Give it a good mix. All right, now that we got that pretty much mixed together, we got 1 more ingredient to put in here, and then we're putting it in the pan and we're putting it in the oven for the most part. And I have a 1/4 cup of shredded Swiss. And I shredded it myself using our little hand shredder, which is just so amazing. I'm so glad I was told about the salad prepper, you know, but because that's what they used for their cheese. And there's that, and we gotta get this mixed in, just like such. Now that we got that mixed in, we can ensure we got everything else mixed real quick. Then we're just gonna take our lightly sprayed 9x13 baking dish. We're gonna put it in there, just like such. Well, now that we got it in there, get all the remnants of the sauce off there. We gotta flatten it out. You want to make sure it's fairly even. You know, that way it bakes even. You don't get like spots that are a little more done than others. You know, noodles that aren't quite cooked, things of that nature. Get that like that. And then we're just gonna set this aside for 1 split second, because we gotta make the crumb topping that goes on it, which is like the breadcrumbs that go on the cordon bleu. So in a smaller bowl, I have a 1/4 cup of Ritz crackers. And I completely forgot something. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. All right, so I had forgotten one of the 3 ingredients, which is parmesan. So in a small bowl, I've got 1 regular sized sleeve of Ritz crackers that I've just kind of crushed up. You know, nothing fancy, not too fine. It's got big chunks in it, stuff like that. And to this, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of melted butter, which is a half a stick. And then we will add a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, which that looks about like a 1/4 cup, maybe a little more. And then we're gonna mix this together. Easy enough. Give it a good mix. I guess I could just use my hand, why not? Could have probably put a glove on. That way I didn't get my hand all dirty, but All right, we got that all mixed together. And we're just looking to make sure all the Ritz crackers are coated. Now, yeah, the recipe I got this off of, which, oh God, I can't think of the name of the site. It's absolutely a really cool site. They have a YouTube channel too. I'll put it right here somewhere, telling you what it is. Or down in the description, one of the two, but it'll probably be right here at some point. All right, so we got that mixed up. Then the next thing we're gonna do is take our casserole. We're gonna move the spatula out of the way, and we're just gonna put this on. We're just gonna crumb it on. But they were saying they use the Ritz crackers. They recommended the Ritz crackers. I have Ritz crackers because I like Ritz crackers. But the reason why they use Ritz is because they have the amount of salt to give it the salt the dish needs. But you use whatever cracker you like. I don't know if I'd use saltines, so to speak. I mean, you could use saltines with breadcrumbs. Yeah, well, that wouldn't be bad. You could use an Italian breadcrumb and some parmesan instead of Ritz crackers, I suppose. But I thought Ritz crackers sounded good. All right, so now I'm gonna take this and we're gonna throw it in the oven. Oh, no, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. Okay, now we're gonna throw it in the oven after we put some saran wrap on the top. Almost completely forgot. We're gonna put this saran wrap on it before we put it in the oven because we're gonna bake it for a certain amount of time with this on it, and then a certain amount of time with it off. That way we know everything's melted and gooey and playing together, and the noodles are done all the way. And by the way, the noodles, well, hold on a second. Let me bring you up here so I can see you. I miss seeing your face. I'm always looking down, you know, and that's just not fun. All right, so anyhow, we want to bake this at 350, but we're gonna do the first 20-25 minutes with that aluminum foil on. And then we'll take it off and we're gonna do another 15 to 20 minutes without the foil on it, so that way we can get everything nice and golden brown. And then we're gonna take it out and we'll talk about what to do next. So that being said, I know I had started to talk about something, but I don't remember now what it was. I got sidetracked with the oven. But if I think about it, we'll talk about it when we come back. So anyhow, when I come back, we'll pull it out of the oven and take a look at it and talk about how we're not gonna eat it right away. All right, hold on for me. Okay, so we let it bake and we did 25 minutes with the foil on it. I did 20 minutes with the foil off of it, and then I just pulled it out of the oven. So I'll bring in as best I can there to make dreams come true, so to speak. And so we're just gonna let this sit now for 10 minutes. Because I mean, really, it would burn your face off, and you don't want to burn your face off by any stretch of the imagination. But there we are. That is what we look like at any rate. So let's let this sit here for about 10 minutes, and then when I come back, we will take some out and see how she tastes. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so we've been 10 minutes letting that bad boy cool. It's still warm though. I mean, I can still feel a little bit of the heat coming off of that. Make sure we're good on the sides. Like I said, if you don't spray your pan, it's not at the end of the world. I mean, really, it's not. I have done many casseroles without spraying the pan, and it doesn't. If you have a good pan, it doesn't stick, especially glass ones. But that's all right either way. Either way it goes. Now, as far as things to serve with this, I bought an Italian loaf to throw with it, just some bread and butter. But there we are, right there, looking tender, looking delicious, I think. You know, and we got that. I know it smells good. It looks really good. I mean, you saw how it looks. But how does it taste? That's the real question. You know, because this is one of those recipes. I mean, we're making it together for the first time. You know, I've never made this before, so I really don't know how it's going to taste. I have a feeling it's going to taste great. I don't need a spoon. I got one already. You know, which begs that question, that ongoing question, are you a spoon person or a fork person? I'm a spoon person. Chris is a fork person. We get along okay. You know, it's okay to like fork people if you're a spoon people. All right, well anyhow, let's try this and see how it tastes. That is really good. Tastes just like chicken cordon bleu. As it should. Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's nice and creamy. That cheese is just so creamy. I'm gonna steal another bite. The only thing I might do a little different, and it'd be just a little different, would be add a little more Dijon mustard to it. I think I'd go 3 tablespoons, if not a couple, 3 teaspoons, if not a couple tablespoons, or at least a full heaping tablespoon. Yeah, that's perfect. Give this a try. Hands down. You won't be disappointed. That's really good. Like I said, maybe a little more Dijon mustard in it. But that's really it. You know, other than that, it tastes good. You can taste the Dijon. I just don't think it's enough for my liking. But anyhow, let me know if you try this. You can leave me a comment down below. Find us on Facebook. You know, Mr. Smith's Kitchen is a Facebook group, and you can let us know there. Share your story if you've got something similar or a different recipe you'd like to try, or have us try, or have anybody try for that matter as part of the group. Throw it on there. Why not? That could be fun. So tomorrow for dessert, I don't know exactly what we're gonna do tomorrow, but I know I gotta do some baking for Sarah's graduation party. So it'll probably be something that I'm baking for Sarah's graduation party. We may do cupcakes together. They'll be fun cupcakes too. We're gonna make them look like graduation caps on the top of them. I think that'll be fun. But anyhow, tomorrow we're gonna bake something. So until then, give this a try. And I love you. I love you very much. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I really do. And I never take your guys' time for granted, because it's the one thing you give me that you can't get back. And that makes me feel awesome inside. That tells me you love me. Tell somebody else you love them. And it'll make them feel a whole lot better. It's gonna make you feel a whole lot better. Tell them, if you make them some of this cordon bleu casserole, that's gonna be a great conversation about how good it tastes. Yeah, and that'll lead to more conversation. Next thing you're having a good time. So tomorrow for dessert, I love you. I'll see you then. Talk to you later. Bye.